welcome again to the Workshop of Wood Spun Round. This is Doug. I am so glad to have you in my shop again with me today. We've turned a couple of goblet stems over the last week or so, and that's all good. I'm glad I did those. Those were a lot of fun, and you guys must have liked them too. I'm getting good responses, even out of the second one. This piece you may or may not recognize. If you've been following along on my channel, you have seen this piece of wood before. This is a core out of one of the two big cherry logs that we cored out early last, I guess it was early summer when we cored those out. This is one of the small ones out of one of the two halves of a log. I had one log, I had ripped it in half with a chainsaw, got it down small enough to put on the lathe, cored it, got 2 cords out of each one, so I've got 3 bulb lengths. This is one of the 2 small ones, and I just pulled it out today. I wanted to see how they're doing. There is absolutely no cracking whatsoever. I kind of thought there might be some mold buildup. There's a little bit here, but not much. Not a big deal. Piece of cherry. This is a core, the smallest core out of a big log. I wanted to pull it out. I sanded the end of this little nub just to give me a good flat spot for my live center. It sanded very, very well, but let me tell you, as I sanded it, it smelled like Luden's cough drops, like this was a piece of fresh cherry. So as I get into it, it may not be as dry as I think it is, but it feels dry. I don't have a meter, so I can't put a meter on it to gauge it. But it does feel dry at this point, and I'm thinking it's going to turn very nicely. All right, just getting my tool rest a little closer. I'm seeing some wavy lines in some of this grain here. Let's just turn it and see what we got. Got my face shield on. We're going to start off with a 1/2 inch bowl gouge. Very nice, very nice. I'm going to get my detail gouge and work on this little portion here just to kind of get it out of my way so it's not a problem when I turn it around. Alright, let's take it off here and turn it around. Before I do that, let me just share one thing. One of the things that I've heard Captain Eddie say so many times on many of his videos, some specifically to teach us this very point, other times just to reinforce as he was doing something, one of his turnings, if you can hold it, you can turn it. If you can hold it, you can turn it. You would think, you know, here's this cord coming out. It was wet when it was put away. And it has warped. There's no question about it that it has moved. Wood does that. If it's still wet, it will move. But here I've got my live center. I made a flat spot in the nub so that my live center had a good place to go in. On the other side, I'm going to show you what that is, what I've got there. I want this to stay there until I pull it off and show you. There's nothing. That's my chuck. Jaws are open, not completely, but they are open. Just pressing by friction on here, and you probably cannot see it, but there is a line around here where the jaws were hitting on that wood. So let me get my tailstock out of the way. All right, lock my spindle. Looks like I got that made just about perfect. Want to cinch this down good and tight. Tailstock back around here. I'm going to start off with the back side. I'm going to finish. I left a little bit on the top edge here that I need to clean up and get squared away. There we go. Unlock my spindle, turn it time or two. We're not hitting anything. Okay, we're going to keep going. We're still at 800. Still with a 1/2 inch bowl gouge. Alright, those last couple of cuts were just light pull cuts, just cleaning up this curve around here. Still got one little area that I haven't actually touched yet, so I need to take a little more off of there. Let me go ahead and do that. Now let's work on the top side here. Start off by making it flat. I'm not sure, but I think this is dry. I'm not feeling any moisture at all, inside or out. All right, now what I want to do is look and see if there's any issues. Looks like I might have 2 cracks there, another small one there, might have one there, and most all of these are at the end grain. But it looks like if I take off another 1/4 inch, I'm going to remove about 75% of them, if not all of them. Now, there might be another one over here. I'm going to take another pass or two, and then we'll deal with it after that. Raise the speed just a little. See what we got. I don't want to lose too much more. This is not a big blank to begin with. Well, I've got most all of it gone. So, very powdery. As you can see, it's dry. This wood is dry. In fact, I'm building up a little heat just by turning it. Let's go for a little small thin wall bowl. All right, we're back. It's amazing what 6 inches will do. I moved the tripod that the camera is on about 6 inches, and that's it. All right, let's work on this. We're going to make a thin wall bowl. sanding time. I'll turn it down. We were just turning at about 1400. I want to turn it down to 700. I'll turn the camera off for the sanding. You've seen that. If you want to know how my sanding process, how I do it, I've got a video that talks nothing about sanding. I'm sorry, just kicked the tripod again. Anyway, a whole video, that's all I do is talk about sanding and how I do my sanding process. So I'd invite you to go see that. I won't put you through that now. I'll bring you back here in just a moment. Okay, we have sanded from 100 grit up to 320 grit. Now we're going to prepare to do the abrasive paste. This is my normal routine. I don't always show you the abrasive paste. I usually just come back with the wax, but thought this time I would do not only the abrasive paste, but even getting ready for it. After sanding, I took the air hose and I blew all the sawdust out as best I could. Now we're going to take a little denatured alcohol here. And the only two reasons for that. One is I'm just doing the edge of the back side, just because we will probably roll over just a little bit, but the bulk of that's going to be taken care of when we turn it around. Anyway, what I started to say was, we use the alcohol for two reasons. One is to clean the wood. We've blown out the bulk of it. It doesn't get it all. The alcohol will get the rest of it. It evaporates out quick, but it also gives us that first glimpse at what this is going to look like when we get it cleaned up. You can already see that the alcohol is drying. It dries extremely quickly. Before I do the abrasive paste, I'm going to put on a coat or two of a sanding sealer. I use a cellulose sanding sealer, lacquer based, just so that we're clear. Just double check and make sure I didn't knock the frame out of, or the camera out of frame. It's almost dry. In fact, let me turn it on for just a moment. By that wood going circular through the air, that helps it to dry that much faster. Yeah. Oh yes. Again, this is cherry. Most people like cherry. It's just a pretty wood. It's one of our, I think between cherry and walnut, those two have a consistent look that most of us in the United States recognize, and we like it. Of course, cherry cabinets have been about for many, many years, and it's still highly coveted. You know, if you can afford to buy cherry cabinets, well, for most people, that helps your house to sell significantly cheaper, or not cheaper, golly, helps your house sell quicker, just because people like the look of cherry in their house, whether it's cherry furniture, cherry cabinets, cherry flooring. Give that just a minute to dry. Put my paper towel piece down in my discard pile, and I'm not ready to discard it just yet. We're going to put some more on. I am going to turn it. It's already wet from the other sanding sealer, but it's not dirty at all. Believe it or not, that's pretty well dry. A place or two where it has soaked in. spreads much easier. That sanding sealer will slightly raise any grain that wants to raise. That way the abrasive paste can take care of that. If we were going to go straight from here to, say, lacquer, shellac, varnish, I would probably, after this dried, I would denib it, knock those little hairs down. I'd either do that with some very fine sandpaper or even a Scotch-Brite pad. Alright. A little roughness in this rim, and I'm kind of debating what to do with it. I was debating while I was sanding it, what do I do? Do I sand it out? Do I get my tool back out? I think it's primarily where it is just, it's old wood, it's dry wood. I say old, it's not that old. This tree was cut down, if it's the tree I think it was cut down about a year ago, maybe just a little over a year ago. It has laid there ever since. I cut my 2 logs off early summer. I don't know, but the big log may still be there. If it is, I may be going back shortly to get some more of it. Clean paper towel, or piece of a paper towel. This is my abrasive paste. I'd show you the label, but the label doesn't, it fell off shortly after I got it. It is Axe. This is Axe. It's made in Pennsylvania. I believe it's made in their home. This is a private individual, man and his wife. Started making this, Tom and Annette. Live in Pennsylvania, like I said. They are fine folks. If you want to try Axe abrasive and polish their wax that I'll be using, I'll show you it here in just a moment. If you'd like to try them yourself, they do have a trial pack. It's half the size. Got them right here. I'll show them to you. The sanding paste comes in a 4-ounce bottle or jar. The polish restoring paste wax comes in a 2.5-ounce jar in the trial size. The prices are on the website, but you have to go to the website. You cannot buy Axe wood paste, either the abrasive paste or the polishing paste. You cannot buy it anywhere except online on their website, axewoodpaste.com. So if you'd like to try it out, go to Axe Wood Paste and order you up a set. I'm going to turn this down. That's 300. And all I'm doing here is I'm working it in. You may be able to hear the abrasive in that paste rubbing on that wood. You don't have to put a great deal of pressure. Just let the paste do its work. You'll hear it kind of lighten up where it's starting to break down. You'll also feel it. I'm pretty amazed at how much you can. It may take you a little while of using it, but after a while you can feel it. The abrasive kind of, it breaks down and gets smaller. It's still working, but it is smaller. It's just like moving from sandpaper grit to sandpaper grit. You know, you work on your 100 until you feel like all your tool marks are gone. You need to stop and check it. Once your tool marks are gone, you can go to 150 grit, and it'll get easier to sand. you stop and you look and you make sure all your 100 grit marks are gone, and that all you have left are 150 marks. When all you have is 150 marks, you can move up. You can go up to 220, 240, somewhere in that neighborhood. Same thing there. Once all your 150 marks are gone, you move up to 320. Once the 320 is gone, you move on up. Well, I go, because I use the paste, I could stop at 240, but I go to 320. I think Tom goes to 400, is what he said he does. Which is fine. You can go to as high as you want. The big thing for me is using the paste, no matter whose you use, but using a paste like Axe abrasive paste, what that does is that takes your sanding from 240, 320, wherever you stop, on up to around 1,000, but you have no dust. I have no need to have my respirator on. I have no need to run my shop vac. I can hear, you can hear. I could have music playing if I wanted to. Typically don't, in the shop anyway. Alright, I'm going to run that up. There's 500. I'm going to turn my paper towel around. I'm going to go to a clean section now. And what I'm after from this point on, I've let that rub in and work in, using the same, that's the section I applied with, and that's what I've been rubbing with until just now. I just now moved up here. I did that for 2 or 3 minutes while I was talking with you, and that way I know the paste has done its thing. I kind of quit hearing it. I kind of quit feeling it work. And so I know I can speed my lathe up and turn the speed up on the lathe, and I can move to that clean paper towel. And my goal here is to continue working it. I'll turn my paper towel, I'll raise the speed of the lathe until I have no residue coming off on my paper towel. See, there I've got residue. So I'm just going to simply turn over. I'm going to raise it up again. That was 500. I'm going to go to, there's 750. We'll just use that. These numbers are relative to begin with. They're not that important. So I just tell you that so you know what I'm after. Grit is breaking down, the waxes and oils are being worked not only excuse me, not only into the wood, but building up just a little bit of heat. I'm applying a little bit more pressure now, not a lot. Just building up just a little bit of heat so that the beeswax, the mineral oil that's in that will kind of set. Okay, I'm going to turn my paper towel again, raise my speed. We went from 750 to 950. You may be able to see I'm getting a little bit of a shine in the wood, and I've not polished it yet. There is a little residue on there. I'm not concerned about that at all yet. In fact, I won't be concerned. We'll get to where there's no residue soon enough. All of the finish gurus that I have learned from over the years, Captain Eddie is only one of those, one of many. Ron Kent was in Hawaii. Russ Fairfield, I'm wanting to say he lived in Pennsylvania. I'm not sure. Bill Grumbine, Wally, I can't think of Wally's last name. He lived out west. All of those guys who are everybody looked to because their finishes were so good. Talking about take your time. If you want to talk about somebody current, fella who lives over in England, Martin Sabin Smith, he says take your time. There's no such thing as a fantastic, quick finish. A fantastic finish takes time. Just the name of the game. Got less residue now. We're getting closer. We're getting closer. $1,050. Still, excuse me, still have residue, but it's much less. $12.50. Almost no residue. You can't see it, I'm sure. Maybe you can. There's not much there. $14.50. All right. Beautiful. Now there were some little voids in here in this bottom, so I'm going to blow those out and then I'll wipe them off. There we go. Reason I want to blow those out, reason you will want to blow those out, when that material dries, when it has fully cured, it will become wet, white. And so in order to keep that from showing up and being a problem, if you can get that out, if it's bad enough, you need to take a dental pick or something of that nature. A toothpick will work, and pick that out. Got just a little bit of tear out right here, just under the rim right there. A little bit right there as well. It's on the end grain, of course. I did not see that, or I would have taken care of that, but we're not going to worry about it. This little bowl is this little change bowl. Anyway, I'll take that out. turn it around. Take that tenon off, finish the bottom side. How do I do that, you ask? Well, I'm glad you asked. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put this, I'm going to double check. Yeah, that'll work just fine. This is a block that I've had for a long time, just for this kind of thing. On it, I will put a piece of non-slip shelving material, double thickness of paper towel right on top of that, and then I'm going to put my little bowl right there on top of that. Bring my tool rest down and get it out of the way. Put my, well, let's see, I've got to do something else before I can. I need to take the cone center off. There we go. Let's see, I did that. I really don't want to do that. I want to leave that on. So now that I've taken it off, let's put it back on. No big deal. Okay. I don't think I'm close enough yet. Excuse me, I kicked that thing again. I have to remember not to put that leg of that thing that close. Alright. Double check and make sure you're still in frame. You are. Give it a couple of turns. Give it a little more tension. A little more tension. Don't need to push any harder. In fact, I need to let off, I guess. There is a let me turn this down. Okay. Not quite as bad as it looks. There's a little section missing off of that tenon. Alright, let's work that down. Again, face shield on, just for protection. Working toward the headstock. switching over to my spindle gouge, or my detail gouge, slowing down to, that's 330. Give this a little bit of a sand. Bring my speed back up to, there's 530. That's good enough. Get this entire thing sanded except for that little nub. Now I've gone down below the surface of this edge here. So I've got a little bit of a foot, a little bit of hollow inside the foot. That was 100, this is 150. Well, it feels good. Go to 240. Before I go on, I'm going to clean that off. I'll just blow some air on it. Take a look. See what I got. Alright. Go ahead and hit it one more time with 240. As my friend Pete says, because I can. I guess several of those guys over in England say that. Because I can. Little 320. It's my final grit. We'll have to keep that 320 close at hand. Put the rest of it away. Again, blow it off. Blow me off. I'll put 3 little lines on the bottom of this real quick. Well, I'm sliding off. I may have to resand this bottom. Let me look at it and see. Let me go ahead and sand it now so I don't forget. Back up to 150. $240. All right. Purpose of those lines is twofold. One, it gives the owner of this some idea that the person that turned it meant to do something with the bottom. It was, you know, it's not just happenstance, it's not just what was there, but they did something intentional with it. So there's a psychological reason for putting it there. But then also, that is where I put my mark, where I will put my name as well as the date and the type of wood it is. We'll put all of that on there. And I'll do that after I take that nub off. So what I want to do is slow this down. We'll slow it down to that's fine right it is, 230. I'm going to take my detail gouge again. I'm going to put the bevel against the bottom of the bowl, the point into that nub, and about 90% of my pressure is toward the headstock. I'm going to put my left hand on the, right there it goes, on the stop button, so that when it stops or breaks off, I know I'm done. So, I was done. And there you have it. One paper towel here just to knock some of the dust off. One cherry bowl. That'll be a great bowl for somebody to sit on a dresser, entryway hall, a hall closet, or a hall table, or an entryway table. Just throw the keys and their change in. This again will get sanded. I'll put my mark in here, and all this will get waxed as well. So this will look just like that. Turned out quite nice. That's a second time turned cherry bowl. First time it was cored. It's been sitting in sawdust, or shavings, not sawdust. It's been sitting in shavings for, I don't know, 8 months, 9 months, something like that. Maybe a little longer. Maybe 10 or 11 months. Can't remember exactly when I got that. But anyway, it's cored out, put in a bag with shavings, been there ever since. Pulled it out today, turned it for the second time just to finish it up. Just a nice little casual bowl. This is Doug at Wood Spun Round. It's been a joy to be with you today. If you don't mind, if you would go, before you leave and go somewhere else to watch another video, if you would go down, hit the subscribe button, also hit the like button. When you hit that subscribe button, go ahead and hit the notification bell, and YouTube will let you know every time I put a new video up. If you enjoyed the video, go ahead and hit the like button. Leave a comment. Tell me what you liked about it. Tell me what you like about this bowl. Or just say hi. If you didn't enjoy it, go ahead and hit the dislike button, and what that does, it'll tell YouTube that you didn't care for it, and they won't show you. They may show you one more of mine, but they won't show you too many more of mine. You know, you keep hitting the dislike button, that thumbs down, and eventually they'll quit showing you or quit suggesting my videos to you. You may run across them, but YouTube won't suggest them. So that's all that's for. But if you don't like it, if you don't mind going into the comments, tell me why, and that helps me to make better videos for you, for everyone else, not just you. So if you'll do that for me, I would greatly appreciate it. One other thing, if you do like it, if you think you have friends who might like some of these videos, go ahead and share it with them. Share it through your social media. You may have friends that would greatly enjoy watching these videos, and you don't even know it. If you don't mind, if you'll hit the share button, that'll take you to a place where you can copy the link, and then you can share that link in your Facebook, your TikTok, your Instagram, wherever it is you post. You can post that out, share it out, and people then can make up their own minds if they want to see more of it or not. But in the meantime, it's been a great fun to be with you today, to spend some time here in the shop. Hope you've had a great day yourself. This is Doug at Wood Spun Round. And until we meet again, I hope you're able to spin them round. Bye-bye.